himself, and Max wanted to strangle the Guinness-loving fuck. The first time Max had laid eyes on Angela and her incredible bust, he should have known how things would turn out. Big tits meant big trouble. Every guy knew that. Max always listened to his instincts, but the one time he let his guard down, kaboom. Things had been great before she came along, all right. Yeah, his life had been hopping. He was the fucking man, the head honcho, the big enchilada. You ask anyone. He was a player, and he had freaking mega plans. He was riding that gravy train all the way to the goddamn zenith. He owned a successful computer networking company, lived in a spectacular townhouse on the Upper East Side. Then Angela came along. Fucking Angela. She was like a living curse, a goddamn virus. And not only had the cunt wreaked havoc all over his perfect life, she'd given him herpes. When you see those blisters in the morning while you're having a long, lazy piss, you see agony. You see fucking terror. After Angela ran off to Ireland, charging the flight on his Amex, he'd gotten revenge. One night he was drinking at some bar in the Bowery and he met a witch, Glinda. Her name wasn't really Glinda. He didn't know what the hell her name was. But that was what he'd called her in his mind. Anyway, Max went to her, "You mean you can cast spells?" "Of course I cast spells," she said, as if offended. "I said I'm a witch, didn't I?" Max glared at her, then said, "Yeah. Well, I want you to put the evilest spell you can come up with on my ex-fiancée. Make her life and everybody's life around her a total living hell." The witch cast the spell, said it was the harshest she'd ever done. Did Max sleep with her afterward? He vaguely remembered some wild, crazy woman babbling about Wicca while he was banging her, but that could have been a dream. The witch's spell might have ruined Angela's life, but it didn't make Max's any better. So Max had been trying to drink Angela out of his mind. It had been working, too, or at least he thought it had been working until he wound up here, wherever here was. And the sad truth was this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Blackouts, those holy rollers in 12-step programs called them. But this was worse than usual. Before now he'd never gotten fucking lost. After stumbling and wobbling into the bathroom, Max looked at a mirror, almost not recognizing the bum with swollen, bloodshot eyes and pasty white skin and strings of greasy gray hair hanging over his face. And why were his teeth all yellow? And was one missing? "Oh, Jesus," he lisped, or Jesus, as that Irish cunt would say. "Not a tooth gone. Give me a fucking break." Max's big problem was, despite all he'd been through over the past few months, his ego was all there. He might have looked like a cesspool on the outside, but inside he was still the same happening, suave, debonair, hip Max Fisher he'd always been. He splashed some cold water onto his face and toweled off, and something clicked. The towels, they weren't his. And the vanity and the tiles. This wasn't his bathroom. Where the fuck was he? He stutter-stepped back into his bedroom. Wait, it wasn't his bedroom. It was a fucking hotel room. He parted the curtains, and brightness stung his eyes like he was Dracula getting out of his coffin. His eyes finally adjusted, and he saw a parking lot. He was in a motel, on the ground floor. "Jesus H," he said. It took him a while to find his pants on the floor. They had stains all over them. He put them on, inside out first, then the right way. Shirt, how's my shirt?" he said, fumbling and stumbling around the room. Finally, he found a wife-beater tee slung over a chair and put it on. When he opened the door, the sunshine stung his eyes again. He went to the front of the motel, to the office. A young, unshaven, blonde guy was on the phone. Max stood there, rolling his eyes, while the guy took forever to get off the phone with his girlfriend or whoever. Max felt like raising hell for this kind of treatment. Write letters, make phone calls, get this jackass fired.